Category 4.
This strong, you bet.
And yet here we are. So, I mean, can we learn anything, do you think, from when we look at future
hurricanes?
Small storms, tropical storms, and what their potential might be.
Hurricanes are unpredictable.
Yeah.
That's what we learned from it. We relearn it again. You know, going from the beginning of this thing where it was just jogging along, a little bit here, a little bit there, no steering currents. And this is where we end up right now. Big waves out there. That's the storm surge we're looking at, down a little bit, a couple of feet for everybody in the past couple of hours. The big yellow spot in the middle is probably a 25, 26, 27-foot wave in the middle of the storm. But again, the big news happening right now is the strong wind. Strong winds right on the doorstep of Rockport. I'm sorry?
Rockport, we can hear it here. And if it's strong like this here, we can only imagine what they're feeling in Rockport.
And as Joe said a minute ago, we're in the little area that's a little bit green, so you would think we're in a little bit of a weakened area. But you know, you look at that and look under the Christi in Corpus Christi, even though the Corpus is over the green, there is some red in there in the Christi area. And that's what we're looking at right now. In fact, we were saying earlier, you know, would we be part of the eye wall? Well, maybe not the exact eye wall, but we're maybe the next eye wall, eye wall A, because we're still orange out there, but that red area, right, just southeast of Rockport, that's dangerous stuff out there right now. And everybody, you know, I bet you everybody up there in Rufire is also seeing strong winds right now. Anybody who sees the orange. Again, here's the updated forecast. This is still the 7 o'clock numbers. 130 mile per hour winds moving northwest at 8. So again, 130 within the storm, probably gusts to 145. Earlier today, we're talking about 145 mile per hour gusts. A Category 4 strength gust, and now we're looking at an actual Category 4 type storm. Alan, you have an update?
Hey, but it's not going to be good. Every time we come over here and have an update, it's going to be to report bad news. We're not seeing and hearing of any bad news, but we're talking some serious stuff. This is going to be history. This is going to be something that people talk about and have to clean up for a long time here. The eye's about to move on shore. The strongest part of the storm oftentimes is that right front quadrant. That is starting to move on shore at this point. And we're talking, again, winds of 130 to 145, I can't believe I'm saying it, 145 miles per hour. This is going to take roofs off houses. It could completely level some houses. This is going to snap a lot of trees. Power is probably out at this point for a good portion of the 35 area. There's two 35s out there. You got the Texas 35 and the Business 35 that parallel each other, and that's the area that we're watching to be, you know, the hardest hit at this point. I'm going to zoom right into it. We were just doing a Facebook Live showing all the little towns that dot this area. You know, I'm familiar with it. I got a lot of friends out there. You know, Becky Robbins, one of my good friends. We do a lot with her here at the station. She's from Rockport. You know, I'm involved with the Aransas County Education Foundation out here. And I mean, next time I go out there, those buildings are not going to look the same. I can guarantee you that. They're not going to look the same. But the important thing right now, if you're watching us, you know, you can hear my voice right now. You have to take shelter. You do not want to be outside at all. You need to be in the most sturdy portion of your house, putting yourself in a cocoon, if you will, of as many things as you can between yourself and the outside. Protect your head with whatever you can. You don't want to be by windows. Windows are likely going to burst, break. Debris is going to be flying. It's not going to take much to get a piece of debris to hit your window and it breaks, and then, you know, you're talking those winds coming right into your home. All I can say is you need to take as much shelter as you possibly can at this time, as this is starting to move in. And the eye wall, where these red shades are showing up, that is where the storm is going to be the most dangerous, and it hasn't even gotten to these areas yet. I know that Port Aransas is starting to feel the initial effects. You know, that's the channel that goes out on the north side of Port Aransas. Port Aransas is here. I mean, you got the Palmilla Golf Course. I've been there plenty of times, a little bit south of that. All of these locations are going to be drastically affected by what looks like 130 to 145 mile an hour winds. We're losing our data sensors in these locations, so we're not able to get accurate winds. We're going to have to rely on the radar for that, and you know, we're going to keep updating that hourly update that we get once an hour, the hurricane reconnaissance plane flying in there, and that's how we're going to have to get our data at this point. But it doesn't look good. Rockport, Fulton, Estes, Aransas Pass, Ingleside. It's going to move into GP eventually. It's going to move into Taft eventually. It's going to track down 188 eventually. It's going to move into parts of Copano Bay. There are beautiful homes in here. Hummingbird Festival happens every year. That's where it happens, up in Rockport. These are the areas that are going to get affected by this storm as it moves in. Also up to the north of here, Seadrift, Ottswell area, you're going to get big winds too. But the strongest of the winds are going to be focused right in to that 35 area, that Business 35, Texas 35, and then the big winds also going to be heading up toward, if you're living in and around the San Antonio Bay area or the Matagorda Bay area, it's going to be bad there too, but not as bad as that inner core of the eye wall that's going to track in to the northwest. So the southern fringe of the eye wall probably going to go into the GP area, Ingleside, GP, Aransas Pass, Port Aransas. Those are the locations that are going to get side of whatever radius you're looking at from the center, and these winds are hurricane force at least, so 75 mile per hour winds looking like they're going to be possible at least. It's a good number to prepare for and know what's coming. In Corpus Christi, Sinton, you're going to get that. Refugio, you could get stronger winds as the meat of this storm tracks right into Refugio County. Woodsboro is in that location, and then it's going to weaken as it gets over to Beeville to Category 1 strength. But this is serious stuff here that we're talking about now, the potential for damaging, widespread damaging, life-threatening winds, to quote the Weather Service. Life-threatening winds going to be moving into that area as we head into the coming hours, and it's moving slow too. Another little sign here, we're seeing a little change, a little jog to the north in the eye of this storm. The silver lining of this, you know, the more north this goes, the less wind we'll have in Corpus Christi. I mean, that's a silver lining if you want to take it that way, but this is going to be bad news. We're going to keep all over that, and then it's not going to let up either. We were talking about this on our Facebook Live. As late as Saturday afternoon, hanging on to Cat 1 status near Goliad, Beeville, so this could affect places almost as far north as San Antonio with tropical storm force winds. It's not the winds, though, after landfall that we're as concerned with. It's going to be the rains, because this thing could actually track back down, back over the places that are getting hit right now. Right now, the places that are getting hit the hardest and that are about to get hit the hardest could get another round of tropical weather, a tropical storm coming back over 60 miles per hour Sunday afternoon, back out to sea, and then back into the Texas Gulf Coast. And this is kind of crazy too. This newest product is actually right at Houston. So Houston could be talking about a tropical storm by the middle of next week. So this is going to be a huge rain producer. We're talking feet of rain, 1, 2, 3 feet of rain, maybe even more, up to 40 inches, and that could be exceeded. Bill, I'm going to just kind of banter with you here for a second. We posted, I want to say it was 2 or 3 days ago, that we posted the image of the GFS weather model coming in. I'll just kind of stand over here by your side. I don't really care if I have a seat or not. But we posted an image of the GFS weather model maybe 2 or 3 days ago. And I remember distinctly, I saw it.
Want a chair?
Okay, that's fine. I saw it and I immediately called you. My jaw dropped, and I knew you were about to go on air. We were talking about the potential for this thing, and I looked at the GFS run. It was the 18Z run, I think, on Wednesday of the GFS, and it was printing 40+ inches of rain here.
Right.
And I was thinking, oh my God, this could be really, really bad. And I was asking you, should I post it? Do I need to let people know about this? And you said, yeah, go ahead and do it. And I ended up posting it. It was crazy the amount of fire it caught. And that is actually going to play out.
Yeah.
It looks like that's going to play out in some location.
Yeah, I showed it on TV, and people are saying, it can't be serious. 42 inches of rain, you have to be wrong. That has to be wrong. And it might, in some areas, turn out to be right. But what I'm more worried about than anything right now, other than that, is the wind.
Wind in Rockport and in what is it, Texas 35? That's the official name of that road?
State 35,
State 35, and then you got Business 35.
Right.
Business 35 is the one that's really close to the...
Goes through downtown.
Yeah, that's the one that you take to go into Rockport and
the main highway, the bypass 35, is the one that goes to the outside. Sean Kelly joining with us now.
We're going to leave you guys. Okay, all right,
talk for a little bit.
And I'm going to just leave this right now. Okay, yeah, we've got I think we need to go back to the hurricane. We can all just kind of talk about, what's happening here. And we're going to be awaiting. I guess I can just pull out my phone at this point to
Let me ask Sean. Sean was outside. This is his first real hurricane. Right. And you were outside. You were really getting whipped around. And
just absolutely just pelted with the rain, moving sideways. And every now and then you just get that one gust of wind that just is just incredible. Already seeing flying debris out there. Once again, I mentioned earlier on our Facebook Live, we had our front door almost fly off outside. So already you could feel the building shaking. Substantial difference, I would say, in the past hour or so with hearing the howling across the area. But yes, outside, the conditions really going downhill. A lot of people on Facebook Live have asked me questions about leaving, heading off north. No, it's just too late.
You cannot leave right now.
You have to stay put where you are. I saw when I was out there a couple cars out there on the road, and that's just that's a no-no. You want to stay inside right now. That's the best advice I can give you.
I will say this though, just looking, I haven't looked at the wind data, but there's going to be other people affected by this storm. You look at the 59 corridor, Bill, Sean, George West, Beeville on that road. It's probably not that bad up there yet. The rain's not falling terribly hard. The winds, I'm trying to get wind data right now here on my radar scope. But
while you're doing that, let me ask Sean, how much worse, because we saw you out there, how much worse is the wind right now in Rockport compared to what you went through outside?
Okay, so what I was experiencing, we're live here on this camera, what I was experiencing outside in front of the studio was about an hour ago. What you saw was just probably Category 1 winds, tropical storm force wind gusts. What Rockport is about to experience, and areas from Rockport on northward, you are about to experience devastating winds. We're talking about the wind gusts in the northeastern quadrant. Some reports over 140 miles per hour winds. So that's 2 times of what you saw when I was outside in front of the studio. So I was there outside because it was safe. Now is not the time to be outside in this storm at all. Absolutely devastating out there. I think that's a live shot where it's at the Bayfront. Cars out there on the road. Don't stay home. Don't do it.
Let me interject. 140 miles an hour, and I've used this analogy a couple of times, is that you're going down the highway at 70, you get passed the other way by a car going 70, and how fast does that go by? Right? That's 140 miles an hour. And these people, y'all over in Rockport, are going to be going through that type of wind. 70 one way, 70 the other way. In that instant is 140. You're going through sustained winds over there very easily.
So once again, it looks like it's heading towards the Rockport area, moments away from making landfall, probably about an hour out, you'd say the center?
I'm not concerned with the landfall. I'm concerned with the eye wall getting into where people are living. That's where I'm focused, that red shaded area. I'm looking at the graphic, that's why I'm not looking at the camera. The red shades that are outlining the clear spot. So you can see this little green ring, right? The red shades just on the outside of that green ring, that is the part of the storm that is so dangerous. That's where the winds are going to be 130 to 145 miles per hour. Bill, I'm looking at the wind data here, and I can't even slide my finger onto the, it's off the chart on our, and the highest it goes here is 142, and there's colors that go beyond that. So we're talking big, big, big rain.
Listen, in the bottom left-hand corner, where it says Corpus Christi, I mean, we see some green right there, but just to the
I can back this up. Okay, here we go.
All right, there, perfect. Yeah. We are just to the east of us is a little bit of orangey, and more. It's a little bit more orange than yellow. Okay. Yeah, and we still hear the whistle and we still hear the wind. Sean, you were outside during this, and it was and has been bad. Now, my question to you fellas.
I'm trying to get to this graphic right here.
My question for you fellas is, Sinton, that has the same type of red coloring there. Rufire has the same type of that light red coloring. I don't want to discount, because the big story right now is the deep red moving into Rockport.
Right here.
That is a huge story happening right now.
The eye wall making landfall. That is the worst part of the hurricane. Currently, as we speak, making landfall. The eye wall, the worst, most destructive part of a Category 4 hurricane is the northeastern quadrant, but still, even in that western edge, now making really landfall towards Rockport area, you're dealing with a crazy gust.
The northeastern quadrant is building behind that.
And one of the trends I've noticed, you know, we're talking about colors. We're talking red, orange, yellow, green, you know, we're talking about colors. When we're looking at this radar, the colors do not necessarily mean that's where it's windy. What you're looking at is radar reflectivity. That's where the rain is the most intense. So that's what you're looking at. It doesn't correlate to the wind.
But it's also the strongest storm.
Those are the strongest storms on the board, yeah, no doubt about that. But the wind data, do you want the velocity data?
No, I want to talk about something really quick, because something maybe we actually have not mentioned is what people in Rockport and to the north are going to experience when they get through this eye wall. The worst part of the storm is they're going to be in the center of the hurricane, the eye. And they're going to go outside, or they're going to think it's over, or there's calm winds, but you are in the eye of the hurricane, and that's where you're going to be. You're going to experience some calm winds, and the worst thing you can do is
think it's over.
Think it's over.
You're only halfway
go outside,
there at that point.
You're only halfway there.
And you know what's funny about that? Not funny, I say that loosely or lightly, or I don't know how I say it, but that might be, when you're in the eye wall tonight, as this tracks over, you might not see clear skies again until like Wednesday or Thursday of next week.
That's right.
You might not see the sky without clouds in it like you may see tonight in the eye wall until Wednesday or Thursday of next week. I mean, this is going to be, this is just this is the very beginning. I mean, if we didn't have the winds to deal with alone, and this was just a tropical storm, and it was going to do the same thing, tropical storm in, then back out, then to Houston, this would still be a huge story. It would still be a disaster. It would still be all of the above. But what's happening right now with the winds the way they are is we're going to have destruction. We are going to, I hope nobody loses their life. I hope that no one loses their life.
Heed our warning.
I hope that we do not report on that. But we are going to have damaged property, property that's gone. We are going to have stuff that's irreparable and replaceable at this point. And after that, we still have feet of rain to go through, and that's going to be...
Right, so once again, we can't stress, people, Rockport, northward, you're going to be experiencing the eye wall, the worst part of the storm, and then you're going to have that brief break. It might not even be brief. They may be in the center of the storm.
It could be a long time.
The eye is like 20 miles wide.
Yeah, it's like 20, 30 miles wide.
And if this thing is moving at 8 miles per hour,
could be in there for an hour.
You should be an hour or two.
And so what we want to stress is that the storm won't be over when you're experiencing that. So that means that don't head out, try to explore, because you're going to be experiencing the eye wall on the back side of it. So you're going to be re-experiencing those destructive
and
winds.
that happens all the time.
Absolutely.
The eye comes in, people go outside, it's over. And then look out, here it comes from back that way. Won't be as strong as the initial, but still you're hitting another eye wall coming through.
I don't know how many graphics we've got here lined up. I'm just going to kind of rifle through them here. We can keep the...
Listen, while you're doing this,
okay.
If this, and go ahead, keep on.
Okay.
If this ends up making landfall as a 4, the last Texas 4 landfall was Carla in 1961.
Jeez.
And Carla is legendary around here. That was the Dan Rather hurricane. And if this holds together as a category, who among us, even Monday or Tuesday, thought we'd be here reporting on a Category 4 hurricane?
It was the water. The water is so warm. With the readings
85 to 90 degree waters where this thing strengthened.
Well above average.
And the other thing was
wind shear.
There. Okay, we're talking about the evolution of this thing. There was that upper atmosphere low in the northern part of the Gulf, and that probably had just as much of an effect, if not more, than the warm Gulf of Mexico waters. It was placed in a spot that just allowed this thing to. It was like octane for it. It
had a good outflow aloft
band
to the
north.
north.
We saw the thunderstorms blossom up. And then, sure enough, the ramp up and quick ramp up at that once this thing got into the Bay of Campeche. And now we got this storm on our hands. The storm track is up. We can probably leave us up full screen on this. We don't need the graphic to show.
It's 8 p.m., so the new update's probably
I'll
out.
go get it.
You want to go check it out? Bill and I will sit here. We'll continue to talk. Well, actually, I'll talk about also some questions that I received on Facebook Live earlier. People, they want a location forecast here. Anyone in the viewing area, you're going to be experiencing hurricane force winds. Now, the worst of it will be Rockport on northward. That's where you'll be experiencing the Category 4 strength winds in excess of 115 miles per hour. Some wind gusts, a possibility, not out of the realm, over 140 miles per hour. Here in Corpus Christi, a complete difference within the past hour. You could hear the studio here kind of shaking with the roof. We had the front door kind of fly off here. And I was out there a couple hours ago. It substantially went downhill within the past hour to 2 hours. So right now, I'd say we are at its worst in terms of the winds right now, and we are in this for the long haul over the next 12 hours or so, widespread across the area. Now, a normal hurricane would make landfall in a matter of really 6 hours, maybe as quickly as 4 hours would absolutely just weaken quite a bit and just, kind of dissipate and head off towards the north. But this is going to be trapped. And it's going to do this little dance near Victoria and kind of head off towards the west and then do a loop, possibly heading back into the Gulf and then maintaining its strength and heading back and making a second landfall in Texas. I don't know if I've ever heard of a double landfall in Texas. I mean, we talked about...
Not in Texas. In Florida
maybe
a lot.
Florida.
It happens. In fact, Katrina was a double landfall in Florida and then Louisiana.
Right. So,
but I've never seen one.
So this
in Texas.
This storm, as all said and done, I think is going to break records in many different aspects in terms of the flooding, in terms of just last time we saw a Category 4 is 1961. In terms of making a double landfall, the possibility. So. Just absolutely destructive up there from Rockport on to the north and to the east. It is really within the hour. It looks like the center will be making landfall, but once again, we are in this for the long haul. Over the next 24 hours, we're dealing with the very strong winds, and then we're dealing with substantial rainfall for days on days with feet.
We got some viewer questions here. They're going to pull them up, I think, here on the screen for us, and we're going to try to.
Do you know if there was an update with the
real time? Yeah, we've got the update here. Okay, we're live. Oh, we're gonna see it this way. Okay.
Okay.
It's hard to see out here, guys. We can't see the comment section.
Okay,
Sean, can you read?
Yeah, I can look at the comments as people have them up here. So people want to know when it's okay to return to Corpus Christi.
That's going to be a question that is only going to be able to be answered by
after the fact.
How fast the floods go down. How much rain we get. I mean, it might be a case where we have to clear roads to get back into parts of town.
Let me interject. My wife and family, we sent down to McAllen, thank goodness. We have reservations down there until Monday, all right? So the plan right now is to get him back on Monday. But as y'all are saying,
McAllen's dry right now, by the way.
I'm telling you. Let me say something real fast. And I know it's bad in Rockport. Next time there's a hurricane, don't immediately think about evacuating north. South and west, a lot of times helps. Let me say real quick, in Rockport, you have to be inside the middle of your house, in a windowless room, protecting yourself. You have your phone with you. Be sure to text, get a hold of family and friends around the area. Make sure they know what's going on. All right.
The winds are cranking up here. I can hear them. Do we have more questions over here?
Yeah, people, let's see, the most recent one. The eye is the calmest. So we had mentioned this earlier. Someone was asking about the eye, and if you are in the path of the eye wall, you're going to feel the most destruction. The strongest winds in the eye wall. That's the outer band. That's where the heaviest rainfall. The northeastern quadrant, you're going to be dealing with the storm surge if you're across the coastal areas or near the bay. And if you experience the eye wall, not many people may know this, but the eye inside the eye wall it's calm. There's going to be calm winds, and based off of
clear skies.
Maybe clear skies, and based off of the speed it's going right now, some of the predictions here to even slow down further. You could be in the eye and experience calm winds for a 2-hour period and think that it's safe to go outside, venture, head down to the street, take a look at some of the destruction. And that's not a good idea, because you are only halfway done with at least the initial part of the storm, and you're going to be experiencing the outer eye wall for round 2 on the southern side of this storm.
Right now,
yeah, let's do an update on the wind, and then we'll get to our next Facebook
The eye wall is
question.
about to move into the places where it's populated. Key Allegro and Rockport, Fulton, Rockport, and it's getting stronger here. This is moving into that area of land we're talking about.
It's that strong here. Imagine when it's there.
It's got to be. I mean, it could be twice as strong.
We had some data. We can't even get some readings over there.
I saw a 107 mile an hour wind report out of Port Aransas. And Port Aransas, if you're not familiar with us, I know we have a lot of people watching right now from different parts of the country. But Port Aransas is one of our big tourist spots here locally. A lot of people come here for spring break. It's well known for seafood. It's got a good marina. A lot of fishing goes out of there. We do a lot of fishing tournaments, partner up with people that that do them out of there. And Port Aransas is getting the eye wall right now.
Yep.
It could easily be 120, 130 miles an hour, gusting to 140, 145 in Port Aransas, Texas right now. It's a big channel for shipping lanes right there that go out. We export oil from here, guys. I mean, these channels are going to be. The effect is going to be so much, I think, more wide-reaching than we can imagine at this point. And this is just the very beginning of it. And it's going into the Texas/Business 35 area, Copano Bay. I'm just trying to use locations that people are familiar with. Texas Tropical Trail is another commonly used phrase that's in that area. Gregory, Portland, you're going to get big rains and winds. Ingleside too, and I just had to stop with the question type stuff, because this is where you need to be taking shelter. I mean, Bill, do you have any other advice on the shelter? How do we take shelter at this point?
I don't know.
The innermost room.
Innermost.
With no windows.
Bed cushion on
You've
top
heard,
of you.
Everybody's heard what to do in the event of a tornado.
That's good advice,
This is tornado type wind. Some of these winds you're seeing is stronger than a tornado. Whatever you've learned about protecting yourself in a tornado, that's what you need to do. I'm going to get one of my favorite things in Texas is Big Tree. And Big Tree there on the other side of Copano Bay is going to be right in the middle of all that right now. Hope my old buddy, Big Tree, but I'm more worried about humans there in Aransas County and Port Aransas, and even Aransas Pass here pretty soon is catching up. What's the city down from Rocket? Is it City by the Sea?
Estes, City by the Sea right there, and then you got Aransas Pass. And I'm real familiar with I mean, I know I've got friends over there, people I've known for a long time, and this is hitting right where they are. And another way to grasp this, I just pulled up because I couldn't off the top of my head think of it, the EF scale when we're talking about tornadoes. This would compare to an EF2 tornado, 111 to 135 mile per hour winds, maybe even EF3. And that's where we're talking about severe damage. The difference here is this is going to be, it's not just going to be a little scope of space that gets hit, and it's not going to be a short amount of time that it gets hit. This is going to be a driving hour after hour after hour type of wind thing. This thing has got so little forward momentum at this point, and it's going to slow down even more. We're talking, what, an 8 mile per hour movement right now to the northwest?
You know what? I know we're not worried at all about making landfall, but I think we have a landfall there at the one tip that's now on the inside of the eye.
Minutes, maybe minutes away from.
But I mean, it's not going to slow it down.
No.
I think we have a landfall.
The one thing we can hope for. One thing we can hope for is that the center of this thing, you know, we want this to track over as much land as possible.
Yeah, but look, it's all water in front of it, man.
If it goes up to Copano Bay, that would be even worse if it just stayed over.
That's where it's headed?
At this point, you know,
Rebecca,
more land.
Rebecca Garcia, once again, we're on Facebook Live answering questions here. Rebecca, she's asking about the landfall here. Is it going to be within the hour? And to answer that question is yes, but the concerns are going to be outside of when and where this makes landfall. We are looking at widespread damaging winds across the area. Once again,
this is bad.
That strip of land isn't going to stop anything.
No.
Right, and this is going to maintain strength. At least I'd say maintain strength at least through midnight. With Category 4's 4 strength.
It's forecast to be a Category 1 at this point by tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, somewhere up near Beeville, Rufire, Goliad.
To put that into perspective, you know, that is widespread damaging hurricane force winds for a day across some of the areas, 20 hours maybe, you know, at least. Hurricane gusts, you're dealing with everyone in the viewing area dealing with at least hurricane gusts.
I think we were talking yesterday that we were looking at some of the forecast models, and after landfall, it was forecast to be a Category 3 at the time. And the icons were bunched close together. It was 3-3-2-2. And we were making the point that as late as Sunday, we could still be looking at Category 2 winds. And now we're going to 4. It's totally incredible.
Right.
We're starting to rock and roll
and
up here, guys.
The station is shaking. You can hear it getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Within the hour.
Well, look at the panels.
Look at
point it up there,
panels.
Sean. Point the camera up there for our Facebook Live friends.
I
would pull the studio camera up and show you, but you know.
The white panels, the sound panels at the top there. Those things are
shaking.
They're moving.
We can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it on our microphones.
They're moving.
You know. Bill, Sean, we talked about this, 10 o'clock this morning, the potential for hurricane force winds.
There you go.
Okay, that's what we're looking at. Maybe, you can see them moving up there a little bit. They typically don't move. Those are little sound panels. Those don't, I bet we have dust falling off them at some point.
Now, areas, Falfurrious, Hebbronville, Freer, take a look at that. This thing is just sucking up all the rain and pushing it towards the eye wall here. Our conditions actually getting a little bit better in terms of the rainfall for now.
Kingsville probably feeling tropical storm force winds right now in Kingsville with rain. That outer band, that band that you're looking at, the most defined ring. It's hard to point out here because I don't have my hands on me on the weather wall, but it goes through Kingsville. That band then goes up through Orange Grove, Mathis. That band then goes up near Refugio and then bends back down near that 77 marker just north of Refugio and then back out to sea. That's the band that probably has tropical storm force winds in it at least. This is big. Again. Tropical storm force is 39 to 74 mile per hour winds. That's sustained. Yeah, we're not talking gusts. So that's it's big scope.
Roxana Reyna says that she's in Hebbronville right now. She feels safe now. She's doing well. We wish you the best. Right now, you're not seeing much in the way of rainfall maybe some tropical storm force wind gusts. So conditions looking a little bit better once for mostly the extreme, I'd say, western viewing area. A little bit better. Obviously, the closer you get towards the closer to the center of the storm, that's where you're dealing with those destructive winds. You can actually see, it looks like on the last frame here, that western edge of that eye wall kind of expanding, heading towards Aransas
Sean,
Pass area.
My dad is asking, can you point the microphone toward us? He can't hear us. He's watching us. He's up in San Antonio. So I'm sure that other people have that concern too. He just
moving on closer.
Move closer to Adam.
I didn't want to move it too close to my
he's not saying that. I think he's saying that
here.
he couldn't hear you when you were talking because the microphone was pointed in the other direction there.
For sure. Right now, this is a live look. This is our tower cam outside the studio. And right here, we are. Wow. We can hear the building.
Comes a white. There's another big white coming.
Look at that, huh?
There's more debris.
Blowing. Hopefully, no one's out there on the road now. Earlier,
that's insulation and styrofoam flying through the air.
Stay home.
I'm sure there's roof and walls that are coming apart somewhere back upwind.
I can't re-emphasize enough the danger occurring right now in Rockport and the vicinity around.
Let me get back to that.
There we go. I'm sure there are weather people, meteorologists, weather enthusiasts around the world watching what we're watching and just mouth agape and just can understand the seriousness of what's going on. You know,
oh my gosh,
earlier today, and we were talking about
the building's shaking. The car wash I'm at, it's vibrating hard. The whole building's shaking.
Because we've been talking about it for a week. And now, when you see, but it was out over the water. It was out over the water. But now, this is affecting.
When structures start failing, it's got a certain smell to it, like broken wood, like oak wood. You can smell it now. It's like you can know the structures are coming apart. It's got that wet, broken smell. Broken lumber smell.
I've seen some of those videos.
Oh my gosh, guys, this is super bad now. Oh my gosh, golly, this is bad.
He may be in Rockport.
Winds sustained, gust solid 120 now, gust at 130.
I think it was Patricia. And he was in a bathtub.
Pressure falling rapidly.
With a mattress over it.
Oh my gosh, a roof just went by the building. Something nearby is disintegrating.
No, even a football net. I mean, that is where we are right now. I would get an indoor bathroom that has no
buildings are coming apart.
And I get
buildings in front of me are coming apart.
I get in the bathtub with the family, put that mattress over until everything calms down. The problem is, until the eye moves over, it's not going to calm down.
Even the Aransas Pass area, you can see the outermost the wall through that band is kind of stretching in that last frame a little bit westward toward Aransas. This is right now. This is crunch time. This is the worst wind.
Oh my gosh!
Right at the moment.
It's getting worse by the second.
Speed drift also up
there.
How
good the video is, guys. This is about as extreme as you can get.
Portland also.
Styrofoam and roof insulation and metal sheeting is passing the overhead.
It's going to be.
But the surface up to about 10 or 15 feet above the ground. I can see roofing debris.
Once this thing moves inland, it could be over land near Rufire. Once it moves over Rockport, Sinton, if it does that loop, like a lot of the guidance is showing here, it kind of makes a loop off towards the west, which is not a good news, which is not good news at all for Sinton area.
Harvey, Cat 4, almost coming short now in the Fulton,
on the south side,
anywhere in Corpus Christi, of Texas,
because it kind of makes a loop off towards the west,
winds sustained
now the eye wall is kind of meandering over Sinton, Portland area,
Power's been out now
Rockport.
for about 30 minutes here.
You could potentially, right now you're in the northwestern quadrant of the eye wall. You could potentially see if this does back into the northeastern quadrant as this thing heads up
wind's starting to change directions. The eye wall's about to get us.
So this is not, it's a one-of-a-kind storm in the point that it's going to do this loop, and
it's super
this eye wall here with the worst destructive winds,
become
a large
extremely
area from Corpus Christi,
different directions.
Portland, Rufire. We can't
trying
rule
to change
out
to the north.
possibility for you to be in at least the outer band of this eye wall for several hours overnight.
Oh my gosh.
Now overnight into tomorrow morning as it maintains a hurricane strength. Even as this weekend is down to Category 1, Category 2, that's still, you know, devastating winds.
I gotta get my thick camera.
So, and it's the long period, the long duration of winds. This is what makes the storm so significant, is that it has nowhere to go and it's going to stay overhead for such a long period of time, and we just can't stress that. And then once we get through this landfall, we'll be talking about the major flooding, which will become the next concern after these, you know, devastating winds and the flooding rains that we're experiencing right now. That will just not end from this point on. I know Alan had mentioned earlier about how if you happen to be unfortunate enough to experience the eye wall in Rockport and then possibly be within the center of the storm, the eye of the storm, where you're going to be experiencing calm winds, you could potentially be experiencing the eye wall 2 times and be just under these hurricane force winds for days on end. And you know, you have this the clouds clear up, and then you're dealing with the rain for just
so leave it right there for a second. You guys bear with us.
Sean, I just asked Alan to go back to the computer and take the hurricane warning layer off the yellow, so you can.
That's actually a tornado watch box.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you can see a definitive what an eye would look like. I mean, that's a little bit of light rain around the outer ridges and mainly clear skies.
Bill, I want to ask you, because you've been around here for a long time, you know, and we do this all the time. We're super involved with the community here. We go out to schools, we go out to different organizations. We give hurricane preparedness talks every year. We do it, and every year we reference Celia. We reference that storm every single year, and I just wanted to get kind of what you think. You know, this storm is already a category degree higher than Celia was at landfall, Category 4. It's not official yet, but we're talking Cat 4, and you know it's almost a done deal at this point.
Celia will still be in the history books because it ripped through Corpus Christi. As we've heard, Celia, one of the few, if any, major hurricanes that went straight through a major American city. It wasn't like Andrew, it wasn't Miami, it was Homestead, you know, the other ones missed the big city. Celia hit Corpus Christi.
When you say that, you mean the eye.
The eye, right. Now this is going to go through Rockport. So when you talk about Corpus Christi, Celia will still be the storm. But if you talk about our viewing area, this will be the storm of record. And even the Celia people, and this is not unlike Celia, 140-mile-an-hour winds and gust up to 180.
The stats aren't, but the effects are going to be so much different than Celia.
Harvey's, the name's going to be retired after.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Yeah. But we can talk about at least some of the good news for residents in, I'd say, Corpus Christi on towards the west. I mean, we'll try to, you know, comfort some people. Yeah, the silver lining is you're not looking at the most destructive winds. Okay, Rockport on eastward towards Cedric, you are going to be dealing with those Category 3, Category 4 winds in excess of 140, maybe 130 mile per hour winds range.
You know what, I'm so used to talking in terms of our viewing area, the counties that we typically talk about on a daily basis, but I feel like we might need to expand out a little bit, because I know that there's people watching on Facebook Live, all platforms, that are probably curious about locations in other parts.
Hey, listen, people in Cedric, Oswell, and Tyvola watch us. I know that for a fact. They're in the Victoria market, but they watch us.
I'm talking about people on our digital stuff.
Yeah, around the world,
I don't know how many people can see us here locally with the power being out and the cable's gone. We don't even have access to see our own feed here.
With the wind blowing as it is, they're watching. And this, you talk about reality live TV, this is as reality as it gets. And again, the people around, here's some, you know, we've been talking about Rockport. Port Aransas must be just under the gun right now.
Yeah.
Those of you in Port Aransas,
I was outside,
if you're going
my eyes are stinging,
again,
I have salt
indoor
water
room,
in my eyes,
bathroom preferably,
ocean spray.
Get a mattress off the bed, climb in the tub, and put that mattress over you.
Right. You get
Rockport and Port Aransas, those two cities right now.
At our location, winds at about a couple thousand feet above the ground, 138, 140 mile-an-hour winds are now coming over Rockport. In this area, Fulton, Rockport, The extremely destructive winds are now coming ashore. Right now I'm in a car wash, I'm hanging on. They get you plugged into motor cord so that power didn't go out. Stand by, I'm gonna take you outside a little bit. Okay. Gotta get any more extreme than this. This is just about as bad as it gets. Until the buildings start collapsing. Okay guys, 130, going to 140. The building's vibrating. The car wash I'm in, I hope it holds. The walls are, I can feel the walls flexing. The ground's rumbling from all the buildings shaking. Wait, hang on. I gotta go back in. I'm gonna put you guys right here. Too much stuff going on. Gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just a minute. It's about as bad as it gets. I can't respond to anybody's text or anything right now. Winds overhead are 139, 140 over my location, 140, 140 off the Doppler. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, we're in the north. Oh wow. The car almost got shoved forward. Everybody stand by. I'm just trying to figure stuff out here. 130, 140, 130, 130, 140, 145, 143, 144 mile an hour winds, 145. It's just about 3 miles from me. We're now from the eye wall, the inner eye wall, we're now less than, we're very close now. All right, the guys, 3 miles. I'm 3 miles from the inner eye wall. There he goes. He's out. Simon. 3 miles from the inner eye wall. Uh-oh, my wind's trying to change directions a little bit. My car's rocking. It literally feels, I'm in this car wash. Simon's crazy, man. That's nuts. Simon. Simon, that's not good, buddy. My car's rocking my car's literally trying to get shoved out of the car wash. It's trying to push the car out of the car wash. The wind is coming in the backside like a tunnel, like a whipping tunnel effect, and it's trying to push my car out toward 35 from the backside. Yeah.
Did you just see that flash a minute ago?
No, what was it?
I think it might have been lightning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see. Which way was it? Yeah, what? See, I haven't seen no lightning on the deal, but it could have been.
Hey, Justin, did you see that flash? No, I did. A little bit ago, it looked like lightning.
Yeah, it was lightning. It was lightning. I do have lightning. I have lightning in the eye wall. You're right. Good catch. Good catch. Okay.
Hey, my dad's there before, so I saw you go out there.
Oh, good.
We're gonna get in the eye wall. It's coming. Okay, we're now like 2.5 miles from the eye wall. We've got lightning in the eye wall. Oh my gosh, the damage. There's just so much debris flying in the air. My ears, my ears are just killing me right now. The pressure's falling rapidly. Please look at my deal. Pressure's falling rapidly. I keep having to pop my ears. It feels like you're in an airplane coming down, and you know, your ears get stopped up. The pressure's falling rapidly. My ears, I've just got enormous pressure on my ears as the hurricane eye wall is coming toward us. Stand by. Uh-oh. Something bad just happened. I just heard an explosion. Went flying off the roof or something. God. Hang on. We're in Rockport. This is a recap. Hurricane Harvey, Category 4 hurricane, is now about to make landfall very close between Fulton, Rockport, and possibly Lamar, Texas. And we're right on the line. We've actually got thunderstorms with lightning now in the Rockport area. In this last frame, the last 3 frames, let me look at this. If oh, my car's rocking back and forth like it's trying to push me out of the deal. It's surging. It's surging. The wind's coming in the backside of the car wash here on the north side, and it's trying to push me out on 35th Street. This is just super nuts. It's jogging back to the northwest now, slightly. The eye wall's jogging back northwest. Everybody, we've got all our high beams on from 3 cars, and we've got LEDs going. But anyway, it looks like the car, okay, the winds, guys, the winds are probably in excess of, the winds are probably 140-ish. I'm assuming 140. I don't measure it right now. Winds are 140. The car's rocking. The building is shaking. I'm watching the center block walls bow in on the west wall and then my east wall. I'm watching the block walls, and I can feel the ground vibrating. It's like being in an F4, F5 tornado. My steering wheel is vibrating from all the pounding going on the building, and the concrete is vibrating. That I can feel it in the steering wheel. My steering wheel is vibrating. Just like being in a F4, F5 tornado. It's like it's that kind of extreme wind and pressure, and everything's just flying through the air. It's really bad now, really bad. Eye wall now. We're closing in. We're almost in the northwest eye wall. We're down to gosh, what are we down to? It is so close. Let me show you this. We go back here, this right here, and look how close we are to the eye wall, guys. Is this a cliffhanger or what? Look at this. Look how close we are. Let me turn off this overhead there. Look at this. Here's the eye wall. Look at this. Look at this eye right here, just south of us, like 3 miles. And if you go back over here and we look at velocity data, and let's look at that. Look at this. It's actually trying to nose. That's interesting. Here's the southern end of it, and that's our 0 line. And everything's surging this way with the winds, and then they curve back like this. But the most destructive winds are coming in now. This is where the major damage is going to occur. It's just about to hit us here. I mean, we're in major damage now, but I'm talking about the really, really bad stuff that is going to, you know, take a toll. These bands right here, okay, it's jogging. God, look how close it is now. It's very close. This is all 120. This is 130, and this is 140 to 45 mile-an-hour winds now. And this inner eye wall is now coming on shore. We've got 120, 130, 140, 145. It's coming on shore, and that's what we're seeing here. And if you go back to velocity, the eye is very intense eye wall here now. And oh my gosh, we're almost in the eye wall. Look how close this is. This is really close. We're going to go from just this wind outside to hopefully calm, or very close to calm. There's lots of debris. I know you can't see it on the periscope because of the compression of the deal, but there is lots of debris flying through there. I can see it, small pieces of debris. Occasionally you can see a big piece of debris. Total whiteout at this location. Thunderstorm. Do have lightning in the eye wall. I'm sitting there watching the what this thing's going to do. Let me see here. Just continue to watch the velocity couplet. Another large piece of debris. I got buildings failing back to my back north. I mean, on 35, buildings are failing for sure. I've got a wall insulation and sheet metal roofing flying by my location, and it's jogging. It's jogging back to the west, and gosh, it's going to be really close. Where, gosh, I'm down to, I don't know, 3 miles, 4 miles from the eye wall, roughly. Looks like, yeah, about 5 miles, 3 to 5 miles now from the eye wall, the northwest eye wall. And what's interesting is this area immediately south of me is this area back south there. That's scary. This area down here has got a little wobble. And you can see this eye wall, and it's trying to. This whole thing is trying to it's trying to come back to the a little bit back to the northwest. And the models said that was going to happen. It was going to slow down near the coast, on the coast, or just north of the coast, and it has slowed way down, and now it's trying to wobble, and because it's getting to the steering currents are now on the weaker side on steering the hurricane, and it's starting to, I say collapse. The steering currents are starting to weaken dramatically now on this thing, and it's slowed way down, and it's now trying to pull back to the northwest, and that should hopefully to get a break from this only is it brings this eye wall overhead, and I hope this building can take it, because it's shaking very, very violently outside now. The wind is just horrendous outside. The whole car is rocking. I can feel the steering wheel vibrating, and it's so close. It's gonna be interesting. If we don't get a break in the wind here, and we stay in this 120 to 140 wind as it pivots just east of us or northeast of us, we're gonna have a lot of damage. I mean, it's just no other way to say it. I want to get in the eye wall. It'll help us here. It'll help cut down the damage a little bit, but just give us a break here. This has been going on for, oh my gosh, now, I don't know, 4 hours, 5 hours of, 80, 100 mile an hour winds, but at least the last hour and a half, we've had winds of 100, 110, 120, 130, and we need a break soon. This is pretty nerve-wracking, to put it honestly, but look at this, look at the winds. That's just crazy outside here. The car's rocking. I just cannot describe the violent motions going on at our location. We go back outside. Here we go. Let's see if we can get it back outside here. Oh my gosh. There's so much debris flying. Let's see if I can. Hang on. Stand by. Everybody, hang on, here we go. We'll take you back outside. I can't. Oh my gosh. This is the inner eye wall. This is the eye wall. About 4 miles. This is where the super bad stuff happens. Okay. Buildings are gosh. worst parts of the car wash is coming apart. I'm watching the roof behind me. I see the roof behind me is starting to split. The beams are starting to separate. I can see those big cracks now forming on the roof. It's on the I-beams on the big posts. They're starting to lift off. Man, I need that eye wall to come over me now. Building's behind me. There's a huge building. There's a huge roof behind me. Where you vacuum cars out. And this like 40 foot by 100 foot roof coming off. And the roof over my car wash is raising. Popping off the camera, just bear with me. Oh my gosh. Okay, where's that eye wall? Come on. I got tons of lightning also. Tons of lightning around the eye wall. Western, northwestern side. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Look at this thing. It's just like, it just keeps wobbling here. It's like, I hate to say it, but it almost acts like it's stalling. I hate to say that, but it sure looks like it. Look at this thing. Look at these little wobbles in here. And these little things keep pedaling around and swinging around. Look at this thing. This is right now, this is, just to give you an idea, 120 to 145 mile-an-hour winds in this area right here. We are absolutely getting hammered in Fulton and Rockport. Cat 4 hurricane now. Gosh, zero visibility outside. Man, I just want this eye wall, to come over me as soon as it can. God, I want this eye wall to come over us to stop this insane. Golly, this is super insane. My gosh. Look at this eye wall. I'm gonna loop it for you. Look at that. The guys, the winds outside are just. Gosh. The eye wall it is hammering us now. Absolutely hammering us. Cat 4. Just about to make landfall, very close to our location. The center may go just east of me here. between us and Lamar. Oh gosh, the roof just went flying by. The problem is, guys, there's so much sheet metal and there's, you know, heavy metal roofs down here and clay tiles. You get that stuff coming through the air at 150 miles an hour and hits you, you're done. That's it. I'm in the car. I'm in a car wash backed in. I'm facing south, and the entire car wash is flexing. The roof's trying to come off here at this location, and the block walls are literally the only way to describe it is they're flexing. And every time we get a big, huge wind gust, you can see the wall like bulge in. And it's actually because the wind's coming around the car wash, it gets in these car wash bays, and while ago I actually had the wind trying to shove my car, even though it's in park, out toward 35 in front of me here. It's trying to shove me out of the car wash as the winds are changing direction. I'm in the northwest wall, and occasionally I think this thing's, you know, I really want it to come back northwest. I want this eye wall to keep moving, tracking. I want this thing to come over as quick as it can to get us out of this 130 mile an hour winds. I want this eye wall to come up over us quickly, or the damage is going to be really bad here. I mean, there's a lot of, I can't tell you how bad the damage is going to be. There's going to be a lot of damage. Oh my gosh, car's rocking violently again. Gosh, I hope this thing holds it. Oh my gosh. Okay, the wind's starting to change directions on me. Try to come around the backside. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. God, something just happened bad. I think the roof, something else just happened. Hang on, let me go outside. Something horrible just happened. Oh my gosh. What happened? What happened?
That went down, part of the roof.
Oh, the roof collapsed behind. The roof just came off. That's that building's being collapsed, right?
That just happened.
Yeah, the roof just collapsed behind. It's okay. The roof's giving away. We're in this eye wall. We're in the 140 mile an hour northwest. The eye wall like 2 miles away.
It is incredible.
Look at the roof. Look at the roof. Oh my gosh. The roof's going. Everything. I know. Just have lighting in the eye wall and everything's disintegrating. The roofs are coming off. Everything's coming apart. There it goes. Oh my gosh, the roof is coming off. There we go. The roof is coming off. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, I'm 145. The roofs are coming off all the buildings. All the buildings behind.
All the 40 shreds over on my side. All of that.
Okay. Oh, watch out. Find the ring. Simon, Brewster, we're next to me on each side of the bag. You're on each side of me. The buses are all coming apart behind me and in front of me. Stand by. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have total infrastructure failure. I got lightning just behind me. Lightning's just behind me. Lightning in the eye wall. Lightning on the north side of the eye wall. Just north of Fulton, lots of lightning. On the car washes, let's go. He's moving, he knows everything's flying. We're trying to get ready to position, the wind's changing direction. Oh my gosh! There it goes! The whole roof just came off. It's flying. It's gonna fly into the bays now. You guys see it? More lightning just north of me. My bay, you can't see it, but my upper roof, I can see it big crack. And the beams, it's like a 2-inch crack. Hang on a second. I gotta take a break. Just a second, guys. I'm soaking wet. I gotta wipe my face off. Just a minute. Oh my gosh. Stay with us, guys. Stay with us, guys. Give you an update. Gosh. Let me show you what's going on right here in Rock Park. Try and get my act together here. 145 mile an hour winds overhead. 145, got 148, 145, almost 150 mile an hour winds onshore. 145, 140 onshore, doing damage, major damage underway. We're in this northwest eye wall, and it's trying to bend. Let me look at this loop here. The structures behind us has collapsed. It's a roofing to a car wash has collapsed, and our roof is trying to come off, and the brick pillars behind us have broken too that support the columns, and the columns where we're at, they're trying to break. I can see the I-beams coming off the north, lifting off the brick pillars. There's big gaps now on the I-beams in the roof. It's trying to pull it up, and there's like a big 2-inch gap now. You can see that in the I structure, in the I-beams just above my heads. Okay, it looks like we're down to, look at how close I am, guys, to the eye wall now. My gosh, look at this. Got total destruction here outside my window. It's just total destruction going on now. It's really bad. Hang on, I gotta wipe off the camera, sorry. Okay, we're now down to, this is, gosh, this is crazy close. What am I? Come on, what is it, a mile, half a mile, 3 blocks, what is it? Oh my gosh, come on. I'm down to 2 miles now, 2 miles from the high. To go from 145, 140, down to calmer winds. We do have damage, and some major. In this area, I got roofs ripped off, I-beam splitting. Gosh, I want this thing. This thing slowed. There's another sign just went by the front of the car. Sorry I didn't be able to answer anybody's questions here. Just totally focused on the hurricane, trying to stay safe, because it's this thing, depending if it jogs to my east, the wind will change direction. We've got to escape and go to another side of the building quickly, as the debris will be flying. Okay, look at this thing. Well, boy, it's so close. More debris hit the building. Oh my gosh. Guys outside here, it's just unbelievable. Probably, again, winds 140, 130, probably 120 sustained, gusting at 145. Be my best estimate right now. That's an estimate. It's not measured. Simon's got some measuring stuff. Building behind me. Ah, gosh, it's even worse now. My ears continue to hurt. Oh my gosh, the car's rocking violently. Oh, here it comes. Oh my gosh. Yep. Winds over here at 134 to 144, 149. It's like just a mile from me, coming on shore. 149 mile an hour winds coming on shore, just about a mile from me. Over my location right now, 139 to 144. This is Doppler, not measured. This is Doppler. It says I'm at 2,000 feet. 32 miles, I'm at 2,000 feet, I am at 140
40 miles an hour, 140 at 2,000 feet. Then Fulton, this is a recap. This Hurricane Harvey, Category 4, very destructive hurricane coming on shore. It's like a tornado, trust me. Coming ashore, and we do have damage, possibly something major, occurring on I-30 on the 35 corridor here through Rockport. Power's out. Don't know about the storm surge. If Chris, you call me on the send me a text on my other number. If anybody's got anything on the storm surge, that would help tremendously. And tons of lightning right now. Look at the lightning on the lightning deal. Look at the lightning here. And I'm seeing power flashes immediately north of my location. Numerous power flashes, not just from the power going out, but this is lightning in the eye wall. Thanks, Chris. Yep. Okay, thanks, Chris. Yep. And so we have a lot of stuff going on there. Okay. On my personal phone. Call me on the personal phone, Kathy. Call me on the personal phone, Kat. Yes. Okay, baby, I know, I love you. Yeah, the buildings are coming apart in front of me. I gotta go. I love you. Bye-bye. Okay, bye. I love you. Bye. Okay, the buildings are disintegrating in front of me. Now they're coming apart. I can just, walls are flying by. I see roofs and walls coming apart in front of me, going horizontally about 2 feet to 4 feet above the ground. Oh my dear God, this thing is, oh my gosh. I need this eye wall to get over us. I need to be in the eye. Gosh, I need to get in the eye. This is just incredibly destructive. There goes, you gotta see that? Our roof just went past the car. I don't know if you saw that. Okay, we're down to like 2 miles, mile and a half. Okay, the hurricane definitely is tracking. It's trying to jog back to the northwest. It's just about to. It's trying to track back to the northwest. It's wobbling. It continues to wobble. It's slowed way down because the steering currents are weakening on it, and it's trying to. The model says it was going to try to hook as it approached the coastline. It was going to try to cut back to the northwest, and it's thinking about that. It's looking at it. We'll see if that happens. That's also, we got a little bit of, it's called little friction as the eye wall approaches. It wants to stay over water, and you got land interaction here, so it's got a little compression stuff going on. But I just hope this thing continues to track.
It typically is
northwest.
To get
I want to get in that eye wall. I mean, I definitely want to get in that eye wall.
Online to disaster-assistance.gov.
I just want this madness outside my car here to stop. It is madness here. I can't explain.
They'll be able to do that with
140. There's just everything is flying by the front of my car. To say this area is coming apart is another understatement. It's disintegrating. Is the only way to describe it. Did you see that? Another roof just went by the car. I got structures failing beside me. Structures just the other side are failing. Yep. This is Jeff. Hello? Pressure's down to 9. I'm down to 940. Looks like 944, 943. stand by. This is Jeff. Yeah, I can't talk to you right now. I'm sorry, I cannot talk to you. Who's this? Okay, I understand. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm in zero visibility and 140-mile-an-hour winds. Yep, thanks. Yep. I try to go back outside. Oh gosh, maybe not. Hang on. Coming off. Is it falling apart? Is it not? Getting ripped apart. Okay. About to come off. Oh, the next building's collapsing to the west or to the north there. It's coming off. The next building's collapsing. That one's coming off too. The building next to us is coming. Live Hurricane Harvey, Cat 4. We're in the northwest eye wall right now. Winds and speed probably 130, maybe gusts to 140. In that range. We've had structure failures around it. Rust come off. Lots of flying debris. Oh God! There it goes. The building behind me. The whole thing. Still here. It's about to fly by. Oh my gosh! It's getting worse. The winds are actually getting worse. Worse. Oh my gosh, it's getting worse. Is that fucked off back here? Tell me! Oh, here it comes! Shoot! Oh God! Don't let it come in here. We have to get the cars. Coming over soon. I don't know if there's anything left over here. If we stay in these winds like this for 6-8 hours without getting the eye itself, it's going to be big trouble here. I mean, big trouble. This is continuous live hurricane coverage. Hurricane Harvey, Cat 4. Course right now, we're in Texas, to the east of Memphis. feel like I'm about to drown outside. I'm soaking wet. Look at the sign that just blew in front of me. It latched onto a telephone pole. Some sign. Look at the sign. There it goes. Just blew away. Everything's moving. It's blowing at about 140. Buildings are coming apart all around us. For sure. Absolutely. 100%. We're still in the northwest eye wall. If we stay in this eye wall, can't get in the eye in the calm winds. It's God help us here. Look at this. Look how close we are to the calm winds. You got vortexes spinning up. Look at the car shaking violently now. Oh gosh. They get hit. Just a minute. I gotta check on Simon. They got hit. Just a minute. Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, we're fine.
What happened?
The whole roof came off.
Our roof's coming off. Shut it up. Yeah. Our roof's coming off. We're failing here. Our roof's coming off here. Stop it. You gotta. More lightning. This eye wall is absolutely one of the wickedest eye walls I've ever filmed. This thing is absolutely super wicked. The roof, our roof's now failing. For sure, our roof's coming falling. It's flat apart. We're failing here. There's all the debris outside the wall here. Just walls of debris flying through the air. Everything's failing. The roofs are coming off everywhere. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's walking back and forth, slowly. It's crazy, man. Here comes the eye wall. The eye wall's just about here. Winds are over 140. Your car. Our roof's failing. Everybody. My God. There's our roof. Our roof's coming off. It's coming off. Here's the back building. It's already failed. Our roof's coming off also. There goes the whole roof's coming off back here. Right here. This is failing. I know one. I saw the dude breaking up there. Major debris. This is probably, I'm gonna say this is probably almost a mid, maybe a high Cat 4 now. It's a true destructive hurricane. Mid Cat 4. Roof's coming off. They're peeling off layers. The eye wall's getting close. It's going from like 130, 140 down to about 70 in just seconds. We're real close to the eye wall. The inner eye, the northwest eye wall is very close to me now. I'm going from like 120, 130 down to 70, 80, and then back to 120. More debris flying by. Gosh. Get in the car for a second, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, how much longer? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. This eye wall just will not come over me. The eye wall's over me, but not the eye. Oh gosh, the car's rocking. Looks like it's trying to push me out of here. The center of the ice, like 1 mile away, mile and a half, just a mile to my south and east. Just getting super hammered, 65 degrees east, and the winds. Let's go back and look at the winds here. Look at this, guys. It's over me. I mean, it's just absolutely. This is just mass crazy here. This is very destructive hurricane. Let me put this down for just a second. I gotta plug this one in. Guys, you're about to lose power on this phone that I'm streaming from, and I'm going to plug in. I'm going to have to set you down in the car while I'm out filming outside in the bay here, because this is it. This is it, as we say in the business. I mean, this is your one chance to film. I'm going to be outside filming. Hang on a minute. Sorry guys, I know it's just. There we go. See how pressure's down to. See as my pressure's down to 9. I'm down at 939, 940. It's fluctuating 940, 939. It's my pressure 939, 940 at my location. It's fluctuating between the two. 939, pressure still falling. 939.8, 939.5, 939.6. It's fluctuating between 6 and 7. 939.7. Pressure's falling. Continue to fall. Eyewall now bumping back up to 940. It's going back and forth. 939, 940. God, the car's rocking so violently I can't explain it. I mean, it's trying to literally shove me out into the wind from behind. This Jeff. Please do not call me.
The stairway is separating from the rest of the hotel, and they made us all come downstairs into the lobby, and people are very concerned. Outside, the winds are just hammering this hotel. I mean, an epic pounding. I'm surprised that more windows aren't broken.
Hello? Hello? This Jeff. Hello? Things are still coming apart here. Still the north eye wall, northwest eye wall. Thanks, James Reynolds from Taiwan. Thank you. Look how close this is, guys. Look at the eye wall. We're almost in the eye now. Thank God, almost. We need this eye to come over me. Look at the eye wall. We need it to come over us. My ears are just insanely hurting right now. We're not going to answer the phone right now. I know. Yeah, 142, 145 over above us right now. 145, 142, 143. Yeah. Yeah, one. Yeah. Levi, I couldn't understand. Levi Calvin. This is one. Okay. Stuff keeps blowing away. Stand by. I'm showing 937. 937.5. 937.5. Shows I'm at 9 feet elevation, which is about right on this road. 9 to 10 feet elevation on this road, and I'm at 938, 937.8, 937.8. Another roof just went by. Well, somebody can verify the pressure. I'm bouncing around 939 to 938, 938.2, 938.4, 938.9, 938.4, 938.2, 938.1 now. We're like probably less than a half a mile from the eye wall. 938.5. It keeps bumping, going back and forth, changing erratically, really fast. 938.5, 938.4. Winds are really violent outside now. The whole car is rocking violently. Look at all the debris passing the car. This is the wall of debris and the north eye wall. 93.8, 98.2. I know my roof's coming off above me. I can hear it. There it goes. There it goes. My roof just went off. It's coming off. 938.6. I'm jumping, going back up. 939.4. 939 point. Bouncing back and forth to 938.1, 938.9. Bouncing back and forth in that general area. God, there goes another part of the roof just went by. My wind's changing directions here. We're going to be coming more of the kind of the northeast or northeast. I guess as the thing passes, we'll have to change direction. I'll have to move it a slightly different location. This is where it's going to get really dangerous just ahead. Bouncing around 939 right now, 939.3, 938, 938.7. It's bouncing in that 938, 93.7. It's bouncing. That's where it keeps bouncing. That's really worse. Ah! just collapsed. The whole building just collapsed around me. Right now, that building just collapsed around me. It just collapsed. There he is. The whole building just collapsed around me. I'm down at 3-8. And the eye wall's like a half a mile south of me. The building just collapsed. The roof just collapsed. The building just collapsed beside me. Hello? Hello? Oh, gosh. Guys, I can't answer any calls right now. Can't answer any calls right now. The building just... The whole building decided to collapse. Oh, my gosh. The building behind me. That's collapsed, too. Everything's giving away.